you, Lord Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus, for Kim.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls. To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is proper. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's new work captures the spirit of We Fight for Independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. You must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, flapping.
Hello, friends. I am hosting today. I am not Nora, but I am hosting. And welcome to the new party.
I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
That's Kamal. He's not talking much right now. There he wait. Okay. There. Is that Kamal? Okay. So we're going to be talking about a few different things today. I actually, next week, we're going to have my friend on who's reporting on the Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk case. She couldn't make it today, but she'll make it next week. And we're going to talk about that. Then I'm going to show a bunch of ICE clips, totally not biased view. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the NDAA attempted merger and a little bit about Ro Khanna. And if we have time, I'll touch on the fires in Canada. So we're going to go ahead and start with this clip.
This way. The round blasted into Charlie Kirk's neck, crushed his vertebra, and ricocheted downward toward his heart, only to be stopped dead by his legendary Superman neck of super-dense steel-like bone. It created no exit wound and lodged harmlessly just beneath the skin, which experts hailed as a miracle that saved the bystanders standing behind him. Up on the rooftop, Tyler Robinson didn't just break down his rifle. He shredded it apart in a ridiculous hyperspeed blur using nothing but his bare hands. Then he sprinted across the roof and launched himself off the edge with expert parkour precision. Tyler made the conscious expert decision to reassemble his rifle one last time and place it under a tree in a bush. He then changed back into his blue jeans and maroon t-shirt in hyperspeed. Time for ice cream.
I'm going to play that in the background on mute. Gray, did you see that? So this is basically in sum the case that they're making, which is pretty ridiculous in my personal opinion. Some things were admitted, some things were not admitted. Some footage, very needed footage, is not being admitted because it's lost. Gray, what do you know much about the case, or what do you think about it, just off the top of your head?
For me, I feel like Tyler Robinson did it. I mean, he was on the roof. He was there. I pretty much feel like it's an open shut case.
Even after the video I just played for you that talks about his superhuman strength and all the evidence that they've been, do you know much about the case?
I know what I've seen on news sources and what I've seen on like TikTok, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Kamal, do you know about the case?
Barbara popped what's his name in the neck, but it's been like it seemed like they got Brad already what you call it, like the case should be an open and shut case. It seemed like, but I ain't been paying attention to this case. There's other cases such as Nolan Wells that I've been paying attention to. So yeah.
Okay. I do invite you guys to please come next week when my friend Christina will be here and she'll share with us what she's been reporting from the preliminary hearings. Here's a familiar voice for all
as the
of us.
messages were revealed. Very painful for her. Her legal team has demanded Tyler Robinson evidence be shown publicly, all of it. The judge yesterday made a ruling that some of this would be like audio but not video. Makes no sense to me.
Okay. That was not the video I thought I was going to play. I was going to play a video of Alex Jones. Don't know where that went. But that video is just the other side of it, where the people sympathetic to Charlie Kirk and his wife are saying that she was crying and she wants all the evidence released. Of course, here at the New Party, we are not biased and we show all points of view. And we all have different points of view. And that's what the people who believe, like I guess everybody here, that Tyler Robinson did it. Okay, moving on to something a little bit more sad.
And I clearly heard the victim say, "I tried to stop." Well, I heard the pop, pop, pop sound, and I didn't know what it was because I thought it was fireworks and it didn't make any sense. So I went to the third floor window that overlooks that street, and I could see a small sedan turned 90 degrees to the curb, and an SUV like behind it, but kitty corner to it. He started coming down the street, again, driving, and I don't know how. And then the SUV hit him again.
So this man is describing the death of Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero. He is a Colombian man who is legally authorized to work here, who was shot and killed in front of his 3-year-old daughter in Biddeford, Maine. Nora, I'm going to ask you about this one. There have been 3 recent killings within 8 days by ICE officials. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo in Houston, Texas was also murdered. I'm going to show that video next. And there are also reports that a Mexican-born man in Florida was run over by a truck shortly thereafter. So I was going to ask you, I know that you do believe in some form of or I'll let you speak for yourself. Go ahead.
Well, I do support ICE mission. Let me be clear. But I don't support these tactics. I believe, from what I've been told, they have had some sort of training from the country whose name I won't say. And we all know the tactics that they use over there. So I don't agree with these tactics, but I support their mission. But we got to ask ourselves, what did we think mass deportation was going to look like? Unfortunately, some eggs have to get cracked. I don't think we're deporting enough people. That's just me. But I don't agree with the manner that we're going about it. I do believe that the President Trump had a mandate to do deportations. However, I don't agree with people losing their lives. I think there should be an investigation because the same way I feel about police, the ICE agents are not judge, jury, and executioner. So they shouldn't be unaliving people. However, we have to remember that the past year, the ICE agents have been met with a lot of attacks by certain people, stepping in the way of justice, attacking them, throwing things at them when they weren't even the ones being stopped. So I am empathetic to the ICE agents for that reason. However, again, I stand on the ICE agents, just like the police are not judge, jury, and executioner. I don't think we should be shooting first and asking questions later. I think we should be taking non-lethal non-lethal actions first, and then resort to lethal only if you know the person has a weapon on them. And so that's where I stand on that.
Okay. I'm going to show, this is actually a graphic video and audio of the man that they killed in Texas.
Oh, shit.
And this is his son in a press conference after that.
Immediately. Not for friends, loved ones, to see if they can find any information. I saw a video posted on Facebook that he had been shot. I recognized him immediately. Not from his appearance, but from his voice, crying for help as he lay on the street, bleeding out. I stayed on site for hours, talking to officers or anyone who can give me any answers. I went to Bentop Hospital and demanded answers, but no one could give them to me. I learned of my father's passing from a news report on social media. Not the hospital, not law enforcement. I frantically called family.
Oops, let me put mute on that. I'm going to ask Kamal about this one, and I'm going to set it up in a little bit of a biased way. I'm going to be completely transparent here. This man reminds me of my dad. My dad was a legal resident here. He was here about the same amount of time. They kind of look familiar. They're a little bit similar. My dad had been harassed by police officers. I remember when I was little and I lived in Anaheim, we were at the park and police officers stopped us and asked me if he was my dad. Things like that we had to deal with. My dad was here legally, but it's not always so. And then even with the case of the guy from Biddeford, Maine, he was here legally. And I mean, I think this has more of like racial undertones. I think that the way they're going about it is completely wrong. I think that conservative policymakers are completely full of shit, because if they really wanted mass deportations, they wouldn't go around terrorizing Americans and non-Americans or people in general. They would just enforce through E-Verify and also enforce the money transfers that happen going from this country and out of this country. It would fix the illegal immigration like this. They also would be making carve-outs for certain industries like agriculture and hospitality, like they always do. In 2011, there was this huge lawsuit where in Georgia, under a conservative governor, and they had a majority of conservatives in their government, and they enforced these deportations of the undocumented immigrants, and they had to reverse it within less than a year because they were losing out a lot on their agriculture, and they ended up making a carve out of agriculture like you see a lot with these conservative policymakers, because conservatives love illegal immigration. It's cheap labor. Okay, so with that being said, Kamal, I know that a lot of, and I also agree with like things with respect to like HP1 visas and how they are not anti-American and unhelpful to the economy itself. What do you think about people like this dying, and then the reaction to that, as expected, from people on the left like me, but then the counter reaction to that is further dividing us and further just reinforcing people with their ideological perspectives?
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I don't know if you're gonna like this or not. You feel me? I'm sorry about what happened to your dad and shit. You feel me? That's fucked up. You feel me? Sorry about this man getting popped, but at the same time, I gotta mind my damn business like them Hispanics minding they damn business when it comes to our cases and shit. I'm sorry. Look it. Them motherfuckers ain't fucking loud about what's going on with Gerard Jackson and Nolan Wells. So I'm gonna do what they do. I'm gonna stay out of this shit. Mind my motherfucking business. Y'all keep fighting for what y'all need to be fighting for, and we're gonna fight for what we need to be fighting for as foundational Black Americans. That's all I have to say.
I mean, like last night, Kim, you weren't here. And I love my girl Skeptic, but I gotta call it out. I love Skeptic, but I gotta call it out. We were talking about Nolan Wells. And do you know what she dedicated her closing thoughts to?
Please tell me, because I couldn't join yesterday.
Immigration. What's going on with, and I'm not saying, I'm not trying to take one from the other, but we weren't talking about that last night. Obviously, we were going to save it for tonight because you're hosting. But she didn't mention, like, she didn't say prayers for him. She didn't mention it at all. And I'm not attacking her. That's her right. She should be fighting for her people. And although I know Kamal is not as bad as some, I know foundational Black people think that us Caribbean and African folks, we don't care, but we're actually speaking out more than Hispanics are. And Kamal, am I wrong? Caribbean and African people are speaking out more than Hispanics are about this issue. Sorry, go ahead. Let me mute myself. Oh, wait, Kim, you got to mute me. Sorry, wait, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, you're right about that, Nora. And this is the thing, though. It's like, man, it just comes to this where, where each group is on their fucking own. I hate to say it. Now you might have some intermingle here and there, you feel me? But each group is on their own when it comes to these issues, right? It wasn't us saying that every man for themselves. We just kept hearing it over and over and over again. Why you don't worry about the Black community? Why y'all don't worry about y'all Black issues? Blah, 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 blah shit. So it was like, all right, we're going to listen to y'all. You know? And so when shit like this happens, like, damn, RP, but I'm going to stay the fuck out of it. I'm going to let it handle on their own. Like that one, what's that bean eating motherfucker? Felix, whatever the hell his name is, President of LULAC. Yeah, I'm gonna drop some history for y'all today. President of LULAC. You know what he said? Let the Negro man fight his own problems. We're gonna talk about civil fucking rights. And we were trying to fight for everybody. Excuse my French. I'm sorry for the cursing. But yeah, at the end of the day, we know what it is, we see what it is, but I've been told time and time again, hey, mind your own business. So that's what the fuck I'm gonna do.
I see what the point is that you're getting at. And I wish I would have it is a difficult case, but that's why, like, when I try to emphasize, I say I look at everything through a class lens, because even though class and race and immigration are all kind of related, when you look at things through a class lens, then it includes all of us, right? It includes, because immigrants are economic migrants, mostly caused by, they're all not all necessarily asylum seekers, but they are economic migrants because the United States goes around through their empire, stealing resources from all over the world and then concentrating that wealth here. We don't really see it with the people, but people assume that if they come here, they're going to work here, they're going to make money because this is the richest country on the earth. It is concentrated at the top, but that's why people come here. Immigrants are economic migrants for the most part. There are also asylum seekers and refugees and things like that. But so I'm in Chicago right now, and I might go to a, it's not even a protest, it's like a support outside of a court hearing, because Fred Hampton Jr. is allegedly being wrongly accused of domestic violence. I haven't looked into it. I would love to speak to somebody about it. But Fred Hampton is actually one of my biggest heroes. And I'm here in Chicago. And I've actually shooketh at the fact that I've met people here in Chicago that don't know who Fred Hampton is. Because, like I said, he's one of my biggest heroes. And I would love to see something similar to like a Rainbow Coalition in my lifetime. And the last time we had the Black and Brown Unity live, I was like hesitant. I said, we don't even have Black and Brown Unity in this video right here. I would love to see it. And it needs to look like Fred Hampton. And like, unfortunately, that would mean crossing the lane and building solidarity with the likes of Nick Fuentes. and the people who are sympathetic to immigration.
Can I say something? Okay, so this be my problem too, right? And shout out to you, Kim, and even shout out to Skeptic, right? But why the fuck is it only Hispanic women, right? And there's only a couple y'all that be on this black and brown unity shit, right? I don't hear no fucking Hispanic men, and for the most part, most Hispanic women, they not on that black and brown unity shit. You know how I know? Because I listen to these niggas on TikTok all goddamn day talking that shit. So I always ask them, like, where the fuck is the Hispanic men talking about, yeah, you know, black folks, they need an anti-black hate crime bill. They going through shit. You know what they saying? Nah, nigga, we created hip-hop too, nigga. Oh, the police look at us the same way, nigga. No, go back to saying Vato, motherfucker. I want to hear that. I want to hear that. Hey. Go back to y'all fucking culture. I appreciate that shit. Don't come into our shit, denigrate us, and then I'm just only seeing a couple of y'all women that's saying black and brown unity and want to see everybody do good. That'd be my problem. So where the fuck the Hispanic men at? I'm waiting. And pause that if that sounded crazy. To talk about where the Hispanic. You feel me? But that's what I wanted to say. That's all. You know.
I actually really appreciate that. I'm going to unbiasedly post this video, something that I agree with, and then I'm going to ask Gray about it.
This is why it's punish ICE, okay? Hold ICE accountable. We have to bring back fucking law and order into this goddamn country, okay? That's crazy. Like these people are lawless bandits. They're thugs. The way that they're operating is completely unacceptable. It is ripping apart the social fabric that is holding us together, okay? We can't go on like this. We have to abolish ICE and we have to punish ICE straight up so that no other law enforcement agency ever tries to do something like this again, no matter who's in charge. Okay?
Mr. Gray, are the Democrats now the party of law and order?
That's an interesting question. I would say in a certain sense we have to be, but with this whole ICE situation, is that what you're talking about as far as law and order?
Well, just with respect to what, like the way Hassan is putting it here, he's saying we need to hold them accountable. We need law and order because ICE is unlawful. So I actually agree with Hassan in this particular clip right here. But the way he's framing it, he's saying the Democrats need to bring us back to this law and order because this whole ICE shenanigans are completely lawless. So are the Democrats our heroes? Or are they going to bring law and order and accountability to ICE?
These are isolated situations. So I think we need to look at the individual, and this should be handled in a court of law. We shouldn't paint an entire agency and say they're completely lawless, because if you do that, there's hardworking Americans working up 12-hour shifts, and then you're talking about a guy that may be the nicest guy to people who have to have ICE enforcement, and you are disparaging them. So I've always been a proponent of, I don't want to attack somebody that's on the job, that's on the clock. I would rather judge a person based on their character, and even if they make a mistake on the job, let them get the consequences of their career, not their personal life.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. Maybe the Democrats are going to save us. They surprised me here and there. Okay, so this is the Alex Jones clip that I thought I had about the Charlie Kirk, but it's actually about this right here, and I thought he'd be good for views.
50 to 46. 4 senators abstaining. I guess Lindsey Graham's dead, but his sister just got sworn in. To block Israel merging and taking over and co-owning the Pentagon and all of our weapons. Still got the Senate bill that would turn over all the intelligence to them when they're famous for spying on us. I mean, this is just crazy they're even trying this coup. And it's crazy that 46 would vote for it. But I wasn't optimistic knowing how powerful AIPAC is, but this is just crazy. And of course, when it passed out of committee to the full House a couple months ago, the next day, the Defense Intelligence Agency put out a report saying Israel's #1 intelligence threat to our sovereignty, our country. And again, I don't say this from some fetish of hating Israel, but I mean, Israel right now with Netanyahu dragging us into this war, and what they're doing with AIPAC, primarying our Congress people and everything is villainous. I mean, it just really is, you know, the stereotypes of the people talking about the Zionist occupational government. I mean, it's just over the top. And then
I'm sorry that I had to put you guys through that disgusting voice. But even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? I'm not sure if you know about this, Kamal, but it does affect everybody. They're trying to merge 2 different militaries that he just opined on right now. And luckily, it didn't pass. I think this is a big deal because I was not very optimistic that the Democrats were going to do anything right. So can't believe I'm going to say this, but thank you, Democrats. Every single Republican voted for this. Stop voting for this.
Except Massey. Except Massey.
Yes. Except for him, the GOAT. I hope he runs for senator. And so I was gonna say, Kamal, did you know about this, or what do you think about them merging the freaking military so they have access to all of our endless funds?
Now, I didn't know about it. I was about to ask you which militaries were they trying to merge. I didn't actually hear about this.
That one country that we do not speak of, Voldemort.
Okay. So they were trying to merge them. I mean, shit, nah, I don't really want that to happen after hearing this, but I ain't gonna lie, man. Alex Jones funny as hell to me, man. He seemed like a Temu Stone Cold Steve Austin. You feel me? You know, I'm like, Alex Jones. At least he telling them the truth now, right? I mean, that'll happen to you. You get smacked with $100 million lawsuit. You feel me? But yeah, I don't want them merging with the country we shall not name. Big I. You feel me? I don't want that shit. Hell no. You know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm about to be off tangent, but man, fuck all this. Hey, Trump, stop the bullshit, bruh. You fucking up the market right now. God damn. Market getting his ass whooped right now. Have y'all been seeing the market? Bloody fucking red. Who's this guy? Anyway, that's all. But yeah.
That is so funny. Trump, you're affecting the market, and that's what you care about most. Nora, do you want to share your thoughts about this?
Well, although every Democrat voted against the merger, 101 today voted to continue supplying military aid financially to the country we shall not name. Steny Hoyer, who needs to get voted out. Debbie Wasserman Schultz from Florida, Frederica Wilson from Florida. Who else? Richie Torres from New York. We need to get him out. He represents one of the poorest areas in New York City. I don't know why these people keep voting for him when there was a nice guy that was running against him that they could have took a chance on. We've interviewed him on the show. I forget his name. Richie Vega. Eddie something Vega. Anyways,
Jose Vega. He's a protester.
Jose Vega.
You guys interviewed him?
Multiple times. He's a very nice guy.
He is.
Who else? More elite Democrats. Hakeem Jeffries. Guys, we are occupied. I don't know how else to say it. Okay. Our government has been taken over on both freaking sides. I don't have faith in the Democrats for that reason. So yeah, no, unfortunately, although thank God they stopped the merger because we're paying attention, but I truly believe they're going to try to slide it in to some bill that Trump's going to sign and we're not going to realize it. They're probably going to slide it in with, okay, let's give out these stimmies. Let's give out some $1,000 stimmies. And that's how they're going to slide it on in. Stay awake, guys. Stay paying attention. Stop watching mainstream media because mainstream media is lying. They're in on it too. And I think it's both sides. And I've been saying that. Both sides are trash. Both sides are being controlled. And I don't want to just say it's the I country. It's a lot of foreign lobbying going on. Qatar, China, Russia. It's not just them, but they are the largest. I will say that. But we are like occupied by multiple countries. It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. We are for sale to the highest bidder. Like George Carlin said, it's a big old club and you ain't in it. Okay. And then I did want to share this clip. And if we have time, I'll share some fun clips, you guys, because it's not all bad stuff. Okay. But I'm going to give some context. Ro Khanna was in that Voldemort country that we do not speak of, and he got detained by settlers, which are people that take over the land in the West Bank in that country. And he is one of the most, along with Thomas Massey, outspoken critics of the use of force and funding of the genocide in that part of the world. And everywhere, they're pretty consistent with this. And he was actually pushed from the left. It was all over my lefty news media. And I'm going to show you guys this clip. I think this, and if you guys could just pay attention, it's really important to what he's trying to say.
Necessary. If the Palestinians have a right to resistance by all means necessary.
I've always been for peaceful resistance. You know,
but how is peaceful resistance saying the Israelis?
Just like it's under segregation. I wouldn't have said that go kill people who are engaged in segregation against you. I mean, I'm much more Dr. King than Malcolm X. I mean,
are you much more slave rebellions were justified against people that were raping, hanging, murdering Africans who had been kidnapped? I mean, I'm sorry. I spend most of my day and night talking with Palestinians, working with Palestinians. My colleague Hossam Shabat was assassinated by the Israelis.
Most of the Palestinians I met, and maybe a few days, are not talking about the kind of armed resistance that you are. They just want to live their lives in dignity and peace and not have the Israeli settlers oppress them.
But you're a member of the United States Congress who is justifying, albeit you've been very critical of Israel's war against Gaza, but you seem to be drawing a line that says that there are some cases in which Israel is justified to attack Palestinians, but only those responsible for October 7th. But you can't find a shred of justification for any Palestinian to attack the very armed forces operating under a nation-state flag that is backed by the United States. And you're saying that there is no condition under which a Palestinian has a right to kill soldiers who are posted at military bases, enforcing by murder and forced starvation and deprivation an illegal occupation of Gaza.
Great. I know you can probably tell that I'm hosting because I'm just sharing things that are really near and dear to my heart. But the premise of what he's pushing Ro Khanna on is that people still say that they have a right to defend themselves and that they believe in peaceful protests. But these people have been occupied since at least 67, and they were taken over since 1948. So to that extent, it seems like there's still a bias, even with the most people, the most staunch defenders of the Palestinian plight, like Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey, who will still refuse to admit that people under this type of subrogation have the right to resist. I know this isn't like your topic of choice, but what do you think about people pushing, even the politicians who are most critical of that country, more to the left and giving the Palestinian people their humanity?
I think that's a difficult topic when we talk about Palestine and we talk about Israel, because anytime we get into this topic, we're going to talk about a two-state solution. So I know there's a major plight for the Palestinian people. I know Israel sees this as biblical and as their land. So this goes far deeper than something just on a surface level where I can come on here and say, yeah, this is morally incorrect, or that someone deserves something more than another person. Because I consider myself a Christian, so I have looked into this religiously as well as historically. So I don't want to speak on what people should be doing humanitarianly. I think we need to look at what policies need to be pushed, who's in charge, and why these politicians are pushing certain policies. Because I've seen things with Ro Khanna, and I'm questionable on why he's saying these things. I'm wondering if he's looking to be a vice president or something.
I think Well, I think so. I think everybody has an agenda, right? So that's why people say things that are very calculated. Um, but I think it's important that we not lose, sight of what's really important, which is, to give the, people who are under like a control all over the world. So our background is the fires, because there's a lot of fires in Canada, and I woke up today and it's been really ugly out here in Chicago. There have been advisories, people advised to wear N95 masks because it's so bad outside. And I'm gonna share this because Chicago's not that close to where the fires are, but the wind is blowing this way.
Look at that. Wicked. This is Jellicoe right now. That's pretty crazy, man. Wonder if I should turn back. Deadly.
This guy's narrating the video though, and the song in the background is so funny. Kamal, where you and I are in California. Well, I'm not in California right now, but we're from California. We're not unfamiliar with this. Do you know how bad this got? This has gotten really bad. Do you know about the fires in Canada?
Yeah, I know about it. Like this shit is really bad because in Cali we do be having bad fires, but it don't look like an episode of one of these horror fucking films and shit like that. Like this shit look like. Have y'all seen that movie 28 Days or 28 Days Later or some shit like that? The little weird zombie movie. Have y'all seen that? Because that's what this shit looking like. And this shit, I don't know if this is beautiful or creepy. God damn. Like, but yeah, I've been hearing like in Minnesota is real bad. Like they getting it real bad over there with all the smoke and all types of shit. I mean, that's crazy in Minnesota, you know what I mean? We know what's going on in Minnesota and shit. But damn, Canada, man, shit, man. Call Drake or some shit. Maybe he could help out with his ice. Remember he did that Iceman shit? Man, I'm about to blame Drake. Drake, you took all the fucking ice. Now they can't put out the fires in Canada. You motherfucker. God. Anyway, I hope that people will be out there safe. And, I did want to say this, to be more serious. This goes to show you dumb motherfuckers out there that be like, global warming ain't real, man. That's a mythical creature like a unicorn. Global warming real as fuck. Okay? Did y'all know it's flooding out there in New York and shit? Just to talk about the weather.
You've inspired me to do a global warming episode. Maybe I'll save that one for later. I'm going to share another clip about the fires because it's actually pretty crazy. And then I'm going to share a funny video just because, it'll lighten up the mood. Where is this freaking video? Please, thank you for your patience. There it is. Okay, here we go. Why? Some of the music are in the background. I know you guys are probably too far out there in Florida, but I sent you guys a report of the air quality. Chicago's far from where, and I'm even further out from Chicago. I'm like another 40 minutes out of Chicago. I'm surrounded by greenery, and it is disgusting out there. It's not safe. So that it's, and I was outside the most of today too. I'm gonna have to detox from that, but there's also reports that Canada had also stopped. When they have these small lighter fires to kill off the shrub that they do intentionally to prevent bigger forest fires like this. I think it's a conspiracy. I think, why would you stop doing that? Because it leads to shit like this, and then we get shit like this, and it's like, oh, why did they stop doing that? Well, I mean, it's freaking crazy to me. Nora, do you think this has to do with global warming, or do you think this has more to do with negligence?
I think it has to do with biblical end times. You better get right with the Lord, because the world is on fire, literally. The Bible talks about rumors of war, things in the sky, fire burning. We are seeing it happen now. So if you're not right with the Lord, you better get right with the Lord. That's all.
That's right. Get right with the Lord.
Let me say this. I don't necessarily believe, I don't want to say I don't believe in global warming, but I do believe that the earth is changing and we are going through that. I'm not a total disbeliever in the world changing. And I also believe we have been disgustingly negligent to our environment. So yes, I do think it's that too. I think we need to cut down the green gases. We need to cut down the bombing of places, the death and destruction. So yeah, I think all of that, I think God is mad and all of that's contributing to it.
Okay, let me find this funny video that I found that I wanted you guys to hear because it's freaking hilarious. Have you guys ever been on a dating app? Yes or no? I don't know if I can hear you guys. Am I muted?
We can hear you. We've all been on dating. Well, I don't know. I think we all most of us put our hands up.
Oh, okay. So dating apps are pretty crazy, and I saw this really funny audio of this guy that I wanted to share with you guys. I found it. Okay, here it is. I just want to say, I know I get a lot of shit because I talk shit on men a lot, but men are not okay. Men are not okay. I've lived it. I get some weird, freaking crazy ass men sometimes. I tried stand-up comedy with my friend Ratchet. Shout out to Ratchet. And literally all my bits are about freaking my interactions with these men because you guys.
I'm gonna have to be the believe all men thing here, because all my homeboys, I feel like dating for men is harder than dating for women, because men, they encounter trannies, they encounter gold diggers, they encounter bitches that just want a meal paid for them. So I am empathetic to men in the initial stages of dating. Women, we get shitted on down the line of dating, months in. But in the initial stages, men be going through it. They really do.
Mm-hmm.
They got to weed out the good ones.
That's true. But then when they do get a good one, like I would say myself, then it's like, I get some crazy, like, man, it's hard out there. I guess both ways. And I'm just going to stop dating. Here's a funny video. I cracked up at this. You guys want to listen? 1 second. Go ahead. Okay.
All right, I figured I'd send you a voice note because it's like easier than like texting all this. But anyway, had a good time tonight. Definitely think you are lovely. However, I would love to, if we're gonna go to your place on Thursday, I mean, I am looking to have that physical intimacy to see if like I am sexually compatible with you. So like if I'm gonna come over, like I would be hoping to like hook up, have sex, have a good time, have like that romantic spark and that physical spark there for my own sake, because it's hard for me to continue dating someone and seeing them if I don't know if I'm sexually compatible. So I know you said I don't know about that, so like I guess my thing is like, what would be the point of me coming over then if we're not gonna like hook up and like cuddle and like be intimate with each other? And if that's what you don't want, that's fine. But like, I think we should just like end it here then, respectfully, just because first date, that's fine. Like you want to get to know each other, I'm all about that. But like, I am looking to have that physical aspect there.
Okay, so do you guys think he's being honest and straight up? And kudos to him for throwing it out there. He said, like, if we're gonna hang out, we're gonna fuck. If not, then we can't talk anymore because.
I mean, if bro spent $150 on their first date, I ain't mad at him. He said I was patient. I didn't take you to the Chili's. I took you to what's a Midway decent restaurant. I took you to the Bahama Breeze. I took you to a halfway decent spot. I bought you drinks. I let you order what you wanted off the menu. I even gave you an appetizer. But we ain't going to be just chilling. And actually, I'm not mad at him because at least he told her before he came over and did something inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. See, when I hear this, I hear this guy has a small dong. Like, what are we doing? This is small dick energy. You can't. I think what's important for me is when guys start putting like certain like restrictions or like conditions. I'm like, why can't we just go with the flow? If we like each other, we'll like each other. Like, what's the problem? Like, why? Like, it's like we fuck or we don't talk. That's kind of weird. That's weird. Gray, what do you think about this audio? I heard this and I cracked up because I have gotten similar messages. Not so straight up, but I've gotten similar messages like this.
I'm a Christian man, so I think you should wait until marriage. I think that casual sex is bringing down society.
Yes, celibacy.
And pornography and all these other things being pushed to the youth. It's just this debauchery in Western culture.
That's it. That's the tweet. That's it. Thank you, Gray. I really appreciate your point of view. Mr. Kamal, I know you're in a serious relationship, but what would you think it'd be like if you were to, like me, I was in a relationship for 10 years. So coming back out after 10 years for me, I was like, damn, it's hard out here at this age. What would you think coming out if you would have to? I hope we don't, but if you would have to, how would you take it?
All right, first of all, I got a couple things to say. I would not accept penis shaming on this panel. No penis shaming, please. Goodness gracious. Also, no porn shaming either. I'm sorry to say, I would not shame the porn. You feel me? Gray, I know you're a Christian man. I hope you're not the like Anton Daniels type of Christian, because we know what type of Christian that nigga is, right? But anyway, yeah, like yeah, I heard dating hard as hell, but I do gotta ask you this, Nora. What men is encountering these trannies and shit? What the fuck?
A lot of men, a lot of my homeboys that are dating are saying that they see there are a lot of undercover trannies, some open, some not telling you till the date in person. There is a lot out there, a lot, at least, especially in Florida. Also, I don't think he has small dick energy. I think he has big dick energy. He said, put it out on the table. Bam. You know, he's like, I'm not fucking around with this broad. Like, don't waste my time. I'm not mad. I'm really not mad at bro. I'm gonna be serious. If she not with it, she not with it. Move on. At least he let her know before he came to her house and he did something inappropriate.
Okay, hold on. So let me ask this, because I saw this clip too. I thought it was funny, but I'm with Burr. Like, he just left it out on the table, and you know, women are always like, well, let me know straight up front then. Let me know up front. Well, he let it up front. Now, did she leak the clip or did he? Because then I gotta know who did it, right? Do y'all know?
I think it was the woman. I saw it looked like the woman.
See, and that's the problem. She's a fucking goof. I'm sorry. She's a fucking goof troop. Real talk, man. I don't look at man, woman, whatever. Look, when y'all do this shit, y'all look goofy. Now, give us entertainment and content, thank you. But y'all fucking goofy. Okay? God damn, the man. You know what? I guarantee that man listened to a hell of YouTube videos of women telling him, you need to be straight up with us. Don't lead us on. Okay? Oh, my bad. I'm gonna do it in the Becky way. Okay. I want to know right now. Okay? It's like, he let it be known. Straight up. He went out on a date first and then told her, like, you know what? He said even cuddling. She could have negotiated. She could have been like, look, I ain't gonna give you all the ass, but you could have, you know, a little cuddle session, you feel me, in it. Or, I mean, I don't know. Well, she put out the clip, so she don't think this nigga look attractive at all. Because if she knew this nigga was attractive, it would have been like, would you like breakfast tomorrow? Yeah, let's spend the day together. All types of shit.
Kamal is right. She not feeling him, because if she was feeling him, she wouldn't have put that clip out there. And that lets me know she was wasting his time. So I don't feel bad for that bitch. There you go. Come on, you hit it on the head.
I'm gonna double down. This guy's giving me insecure. I bet you for sure. I bet you he don't even eat it right. I'm sure this guy, the way he was talking, bro, I made guys like this cry. If I would have got this audio, I would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, this isn't normal behavior. Like, are you gonna put out or I'm gonna get out? Like, that's weird. That's like, to me, when you start putting conditions like that on dating, I get some weird fucking messages. Like, and TMI, but like, I've had a casual encounter twice now in the last 2 years. And that's fine, but nobody was like, hey, are we gonna have casual sex? It just happened. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be real with you. The two guys that I've had sex with, like the first 1 or 2 dates, we had long relationships. So that's like not necessarily true. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. The ones that I make wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dates, those be the ones that be like bullshitting you.
Well, I do know people who like waited and then got married and then they get divorced. And then I know people who didn't wait and they get married and they're happy. I know people who hooked up on the first day and got married, and they're some of the happiest people. I think it just depends on who you flow with. But when guys send messages like this, it's just so pretentious. It's giving he's not the business. I'm letting you know right now. I am a man whisperer, and I can tell you right now, this guy ain't the shit. And this girl too, I've never posted. I'll let you talk right now. Come on. I get some weird fucking messages, and I've never posted anything, and I wouldn't post anything. I don't even really like to post about my personal life, and I won't even repost baby daddy memes. But I love the content. Girls, please keep giving it. Go ahead, Kamal.
Let me ask you this, okay, Ken? Let me ask you this. Let me paint the scenario, right? Same message sent to you, right? Like this dude did. Same message, right? But it's not this guy. It's Leonardo motherfucking DiCaprio. Okay? Or I don't know who you like. Kim, you might like
Cristiano Ronaldo.
one of them Argentinian, Spanish-looking motherfuckers. You feel me? Matt Damon. I don't know. Just put somebody else in the frame that you know, right? Does it change then, or is the message still creepy?
The message is creepy, and I've turned down attractive men. I've liked ugly men. I've vibed with this guy who was not very attractive, but we vibed. Does that make sense? I could have married rich a long time ago. I used to work in the music industry. I've met a lot of people who've given me similar offers like this, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? So no, for me, I think the most important thing is authenticity, and this comes off as me as fuckboy. This gives fuckboy. This isn't real dating. This is inherently American. I think American boy, and that's why I always find myself liking Mexicans. I like the chivalry, and Mexicans are very chivalrous, and you don't really get that with Americans. Not really here. Like a Mexican, when you date a Mexican man, he will he'll knock on the door. He'll bring. Okay, they're a little chauvinistic, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that, because they'll knock on the door, they'll bring you flowers, they'll open your car door, they'll open the restaurant door. If they serve you a can, they'll open the can for you, give it to you. I freaking love that. Like, they're not gonna ask you things like this. It'll come up casually. Does that make sense? Or I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here. Okay, we'll end it right here. Closing thoughts.
Whoa.
Let's see. How do I make Nora big? There it is. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, guys, just so everyone knows, in less than 5 minutes, we are going to stream President Trump speaking. He's going to be live. My closing thoughts are this. I believe that when the feds set their sights on you, if they say you're guilty, you're guilty. Tyler Robinson did it because the feds said he did it. I believe that we should not be judged during executioner with these ICE stops. So sending prayers that we can have peace for that. And also, these fires are biblical. Please stay safe. Please open up the word, get right with the Lord. And like I said, in 5 more minutes, we'll be streaming President Trump.
Thank you, Nora. Go ahead, Gray. Oh, wait. I accidentally removed him. Go ahead, Gray.
Psalms 122:6. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May they be secure who love you.
Are you leaning into you being a Zionist now, Gray?
Praise Jesus.
Yeah.
When are you going to Israel?
Mm-hmm.
When am I going to Israel? I don't know. When they give me my ticket, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if they pay me, I'll go too. Go ahead. Come on.
I ain't even hold y'all. I can't even hear y'all. Look, y'all, hopefully I get my computer back soon because this shit acting janky now. I can't even hear what Nora and Kim is saying, you feel me? But I did hear a Grace said, was you sure that was a Bible verse or a Drake line? Because that sounded like a Drake line. You feel me? But y'all go sub to the new party. Hit the notification bell so you know when they go live, you feel me? Shout out to Kim for hosting, you feel me? You're doing a great job, you feel me? I will say the topics that we talked about today, they were some topics I usually don't talk about, but I'm glad I get to talk about it on here, you feel me? Yeah, the Charlie Kirk thing with Tyler Robinson and the other shit. I'm just gonna mind my fucking business, which I'm trying to show y'all that sometimes we can just mind our business. We don't have to have an opinion on everything, right? But I will have an opinion on this. Seems like that global warming shit I think is real. You feel me? And shit, the earth is getting hotter, right? And I know some of y'all confused. Y'all like, but it was just for flooding. New York though, it's raining. Bruh, don't y'all know precipitation? Y'all don't. Anyway, look, if y'all want to follow me, go to Kamal Johnson on YouTube. You feel me? Hopefully I get my computer back soon the next time I'm on here so I can kind of conversate better. I know they have to like mute everybody while I could talk so y'all can hear me. So that shit janky as hell. But yeah, I couldn't even see the chat either. I know some of you goofballs was in the chat saying some bullshit, but the regulars in there, y'all know what's up. Y'all know I'll be shouting y'all out if I was seeing the chat. You feel me? But yeah, y'all have a great weekend. We about to listen to Donald Trump and look, Kim. I only care about the stock market, Donald Trump doing some certain shit, okay? All right? But I am concerned with the stock market. God damn. If you got money, you should buy in right now, certain stocks. But if you don't and you got your stuff in the stock, god damn, it's bloody red. Anyway. Oh, and hey, men out there, you feel me? Don't let these women penis shame you, okay? You feel me? All right? Because what I heard biologically, you feel me? I'm about to get my Neil deGrasse Tyson on, X-rated edition. I heard a certain area can only really need 3 inches. So don't let them penis shame you, okay? And keep telling the truth up front. All right? You're going to find that woman one day, goddamn Jake, who was on the clip, you feel me? Men, let it be known, okay? If Myron Gaines can mysteriously have 3 or 4 girlfriends out the blue, then I believe in y'all too. Y'all could get puss and be truthful about getting it when you want it. All right? That's all I got to say.
That was beautiful. Free Palestine, abolish ICE. The prophecy of Israel was fulfilled when Jesus rose again. It is not a land, it is a people. Amen. I'm not here for body shaming anybody, but that's just more of like a visual, right? Like there's some freaking loser ass men out here. It's slim pickings out here, you guys. Slim pickings. And when you get things like that, man, no body shaming anybody here. Thanks for watching us. This was a great show. We're going to go live in a bit to see the
No. We're still going to be on here.
Oh, okay. We're going to stay live here.
This is it. Yeah.
We're staying here. Okay. Please stay here. Thank you. Okay. Nora's taking over.
So Trump's about to speak. What do we think he's going to talk about? Go first, Gray. What do you think?
I don't know what he's going to talk about. I have no idea. Maybe Iran, maybe the economy. I'm not sure.
What about you, Kim? What do you think he's going to talk about?
I didn't even know he was doing a speech. When did he announce it? What did he say?
Well, the rumor is he's going to say that the election was rigged.
Oh my God!
In 2020, and that the proof is Russian interference.
The $100,000 that Russia spent compared to the hundreds of millions of dollars that other countries spent.
Right.
I didn't even know that he announced this. Well, I suppose we'll see.
Well, the other option is maybe he's going to ask Congress to vote on us invading Iran. I mean, I don't see us ever Iran, unfortunately, unless we send troops. Gray, as somebody that actually, served over there, thank you for your service. What do you think about that?
Thank you for your service.
What was the question again?
Do you think we're going to invade Iran?
I'm not sure if we're going to invade Iran. I feel like the straight up.
Wait.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Gray. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women's sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today
just me, or does he sound sick?
than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars. Like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy, because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that At age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with zero illegal aliens.
How are you finding the time to send over all these meeting notes?
I got a secret. I've been using granola.
What is granola?
He's been using granola.
At the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years,
No
I've
trust,
called for
no
bold,
greatness.
swift,
That's what I'm gonna
and
start telling guys.
decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure. One where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure.
Oh my God.
This evidence shows
thought
that
he
the
was gonna
election
talk about,
system
like,
we have
JFK or
dangerously exposes and really exposes like
Oh
levels
my God.
never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just
He's
as
gonna release all the Epstein
disturbingly,
files.
this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House
Oh my
Government
God.
Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the
And
findings.
he's going to run a third term.
We are
He's gonna run
presenting
again.
this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity.
Gonna run again.
You can see these
Oh,
documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very pat line that was divvied out to
You
say
should investigate
the cover-up
Russiagate
of this
instead and the Steele
colossal
dossier,
security
but he
breach
won't, because
is
it
even more
implicates both.
disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his reelection. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job. And they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure election.
We're looking for people 40 plus who want to actually master Claude in 28 days.
Be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together, we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America.
So, Gray, what do you think about everything you just heard?
Typical Trump. He's just trying to get ahead of whatever's going on and trying to put a marketing spin on it, because the way Trump talks, people are going to be like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. I don't know what specifically that speech was for. To me, it just seemed like a typical Trump talking rally type thing.
I think he's gearing up to fuck with the midterms. Like, this is kind of scary. What's the point of putting this out here? I mean, one's in the chat if you think the 2020 election was stolen. Two's if you think it was free and fair. Gray, do you think 2020 was rigged and stolen? Or do you think that Joe Biden fairly won?
No comment. What I saw Trump saying right there seems like there's a lot of information we don't know. I mean, he started bringing up the CIA. He started bringing up voting machines. So I would have to do a lot more research before I can give a good answer on that.
Well, I know people were really fed up with him in 2020. We had COVID. We had the Black Lives Matter protests. The economy was bad. There was a lot going on. So obviously there's something more. He's saying that China was involved. Maybe they were involved, but I would need to see the information too. But based on what I see, I think Biden won. From what I know.
Well, like I said, I mean, like you just said, with China and all these things, we're supposed to have free elections. He has a right to say if he feels like it was stolen from him. With these intelligence reports, we don't know what's classified and unclassified. A lot of people are upset, and like I myself went through the Al Gore Bush situation. And so in that situation, you know, people looked at Bush's brother. So with this situation, I don't know. We never really got to the bottom of this. Who knows if we'll ever get to the bottom of that? Who knows if we'll ever get to the bottom of this? Because it seems like we've been talking about this for years. I'm actually shocked we're still talking about it.
Well, more to come. Gray, you have anything you want to add before we close out?
Like I said before, just peace in Jerusalem.
All right. Well, we got the Zionists on the panel now. So, you know, all those people that say that we just talk about the I country, it can't be so. We have a Black Zionist here representing the new party. So God bless, be safe, and thank you for watching. Come back Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the man.
Sisters,
We shall not yield to tyranny.
our cause just, we will prevail. The fight
Hello,
for our
Mr.
rights.
Buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this
Hello,
point,
history.
shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. I shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're a number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
This
This
is
is
so
American-
freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour of our liberty is at hand. For freedom is brava. Brothers
Yeah, I
and
was
sisters.
working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, that's a lot of Black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see them, man. So I'm.
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real coach. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets eaten over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Payne's word captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
The
Welcome to
people
my
that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
Vocabulary up because I'm throwing out words like hubris, acquiesce, verbose. What are you going to do about the dichotomy of the nuance?
To the encampment for liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
And flaming! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory! These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.